Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The Diagnostic Trouble Code, DTC P0463, highlights an issue related to the vehicle's fuel level sensor circuit, specifically signifying high voltage from the fuel gauge sending unit. This sensor plays a crucial role in relaying the fuel level information to the vehicle's instrument panel, allowing the driver to know how much fuel is available. The fuel gauge sending unit is typically located within the fuel tank, where it detects the level of the fuel and transmits this data to the gauge control module located on the driver's dashboard. High voltage in the sensor circuit can indicate an abnormality, such as a wiring malfunction or a fault within the sensor itself. Before proceeding with specific repairs, it is important to perform an initial verification of the problem and conduct a thorough check using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. This will ensure that the correct diagnostic path is followed, helping mechanics to efficiently identify the source of the problem. The fuel level sensor, also known as the fuel gauge sending unit, is tasked with measuring the level of fuel within the fuel tank of the Honda CRV. This sensor operates by floating on the surface of the fuel and varies its resistance based on the fuel level it detects. Its position in the fuel tank is essential, as it directly influences how accurately the fuel level is reported to the driver. The sensor communicates with the gauge control module, which interprets this information and displays it on the vehicle's dashboard. When the DTC P0463 is triggered, it indicates that the sensor's voltage level is higher than expected, signaling potential issues with the wiring or the sensor itself. Locations such as poor connections or damaged wires could significantly contribute to this fault. Diagnosing these components effectively can help rectify the issue and restore proper functioning to the fuel level monitoring system. Various factors can lead to the triggering of DTC P0463, primarily involving wiring problems, a faulty fuel level sensor, or the gauge control module itself. Wiring issues often manifest as frayed, broken, or corroded connections that disrupt the proper voltage readings from the fuel level sensor. If the fuel level sensor is not functioning correctly, it may send incorrect voltage levels, mistakenly indicating a high reading. Additionally, problems could originate from the gauge control module, which interprets signals from the sensor and displays them to the driver. A defective module may not process the information accurately, thus compounding the error. For effective troubleshooting, each potential failure point must be investigated thoroughly to pinpoint the exact cause of the DTC. Identifying symptoms associated with DTC P0463 is crucial for diagnosing the issue effectively. Common symptoms include an inaccurate fuel gauge reading, where the driver may notice it displaying completely wrong fuel levels. The dashboard may also illuminate warning lights indicating a problem, signaling that the onboard diagnostic system has detected an anomaly in the fuel level measurement. Additionally, the fuel level indicator might completely fail to function, leaving the driver unaware of their actual fuel supply. These indicators provide vital clues, prompting the need for further diagnostic checks using the HDS to confirm the presence of the DTC and the vehicle's operational condition. Noticing these symptoms early can prevent potential issues with running out of fuel unexpectedly. The first step in troubleshooting DTC P0463 involves verifying the presence of the DTC. Initially, turn the vehicle to the on mode without starting the engine. This allows the onboard diagnostic system to initialize. Next, use the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to clear the DTC from memory. This reset process ensures that any temporary glitches from previous drive cycles are eliminated. After clearing, wait approximately 5 seconds. Then check again using the HDS for any pending or confirmed DTCs. By confirming whether DTC P0463 still appears, we can determine if the issue is persistent or intermittent. If the DTC reappears, further investigation is required. If it does not, this suggests that the vehicle may have experienced a temporary fault, potentially related to loose connections or wiring. In the second troubleshooting step for DTC P0463, the vehicle is powered down. By turning the key to the off/lock mode, technicians prepare to safely access internal components. Remove the gauge control module, which is a critical component that interprets information from the fuel level sensor. Once it is out, proceed to disconnect both the fuel tank unit's 4P connector and the gauge control module connector A, 32P. After this, a jumper wire needs to be connected between specific terminals, with terminal A coming from the fuel tank unit connector and terminal B being connected to the body ground. This connection allows technicians to check for continuity between the test points, which are identified within the gauge control module connector A and the body ground. This test conditions the systems for identifying any open wires or faults within the wiring circuit. For the third troubleshooting step focused on DTC P0463, after verifying the first wire check, the jumper wire needs to be removed from the fuel tank unit connector. It is now necessary to create a new jumper between different terminals, this time connecting terminal A from the fuel tank unit 4P connector number 2 to the body ground. This change focuses on a different aspect of the circuit related to the fuel gauge power supply. As in the previous step, continuity checks are essential. By again check continuity between the specific test points, this time in connector A, 32P, and the body ground, technicians can determine if the power source for the fuel gauge circuit is intact. If continuity exists, there may be no issues with the wiring. Otherwise, an open circuit in the fuel gauge plus wire needs to be addressed. The final troubleshooting step for DTC P0463 involves checking the condition of the fuel gauge sending unit itself. After ensuring that all previous checks have been made and connections verified, remove any remaining jumper wires from the unit's connector. Testing the fuel gauge sending unit directly allows for a definitive measure of its operational status. If tests confirm that the sending unit functions as expected, this suggests the possible fault lies with the gauge control module, which may require replacement. Conversely, if the unit is faulty, as indicated by the diagnostic tests, it must be replaced to rectify the high voltage issue indicated by the DTC. Comprehensive evaluations during this step are vital for ensuring the overall accuracy and reliability of the vehicle's fuel level readings. After completing the necessary repairs associated with DTC P0463, it's critical to conduct a final verification process. Begin by checking the system to ensure all components are functioning correctly post-repair. Utilize the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to confirm that the DTC has been cleared, indicating no underlying faults persist in the system. Additionally, it is important to perform a test drive under various conditions to observe the behavior of the fuel gauge and confirm that it accurately reflects the fuel level. If the DTC does not return after these checks, this indicates successful repairs. This verification ensures both the performance and reliability of the fuel level monitoring system remain intact for the driver. To avoid encountering DTC P0463 in the future, implementing preventive maintenance practices is beneficial. Regular inspections of both the fuel gauge sending unit and the wiring harnesses connected to it can identify potential issues before they escalate into major repairs. Additionally, periodic checks on the gauge control module can help indicate its operational status, ensuring that the motor vehicle operates without erroneous readings. Preventative measures also include using quality fuel, as contaminants can adversely affect the sensors and connections. By maintaining a proactive approach, you enhance the reliability of the fuel level monitoring system. Such diligence not only prolongs the lifespan of these components, but ensures a safer overall driving experience. In conclusion, DTC P0463 indicates a high voltage issue within the fuel level sensor circuit, involving components such as the fuel gauge sending unit and gauge control module. Recognizing the symptoms and potential causes is fundamental for technicians as they work through the troubleshooting steps. The structured approach, emphasized through distinct steps, allows for effective diagnostics and precise repair validations. Regular inspections and accurate verification processes facilitate long-term reliability of the fuel level system. By understanding and addressing the intricacies associated with this DTC, drivers can ensure their vehicle remains both safe and efficient. Awareness of preventive maintenance measures further assists in circumventing future complications. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.